Bernie 2016, a few things to get off my chest here that have been bothering me. The first thing is this little piece of silly season. Well, a lot of stuff that's coming out of the Clinton campaign now is silly season. It's what happens when a campaign starts to go through its death throes. It's going to bring up all these little nonsensical things to try to grasp onto anything, to try to get some kind of a narrative going in the mainstream media that could hurt her opponent. And one thing that's come out today, I'm noticing on social media, is that evidently at a campaign rally over the last couple of days, Bernie, there was a point where Jane Sanders, his wife, was standing next to him, and she was talking to him, and he had said something like, go off to the side, and it was an arm gesture. He did this arm gesture. He said, go over there. And now they're making a big deal over this. It's showing he's such a horrible old sexist. He doesn't want his wife standing next to him, and he's ordering her around. Well, here's the real reason: assholes, Clinton supporter assholes, and assholes in the Clinton campaign. This is why he did that. The Secret Service has said that they don't want Jane standing too close to him because he has these huge rallies. I mean, hopefully nothing ever happens, but there's a reason why he needed Secret Service protection. He's got these 15,000, 20,000 person rallies, 30,000 person rallies. He had 20,000 in Portland, 30,000 in Seattle. Now, Hillary supporters might not understand this because she gets 500-600 people usually in a room when they've given $100,000 each. So they don't understand how dangerous it is in those situations. You don't know what's going to. It's like the president. I mean, Obama doesn't even have those kinds of rallies. So the Secret Service has said they don't want Jane, for her own protection, standing too close to him. He's the candidate. He takes on those, ideas of possibly things happening that hopefully will never happen. But anyway, he cares about his wife. That's what it comes down to. He cares about Jane. He loves her. You assholes, he loves his wife. He doesn't want anything bad to happen to her, so he told her to move to the side for her own protection, and the Secret Service has told them that. They don't want her standing there. So it's very possible that we didn't see a Secret Service guy signaling to move. Bernie saw that and signaled her to move to the side. Okay, you assholes in the Clinton campaign, he loves his wife, and he cares about her. And I'm quite sure that Hillary has never yelled at Bill. I'm sure Hillary has never said one negative thing to Bill in their entire life. Anyway, so let's get that out of the way. Now, the next thing that really bugs me is this idea that Hillary will not debate Bernie until he tones it down. And luckily, because it's just an idiotic statement, tone down for what? Hashtag tone down for what has been trending on Facebook for the past 2 days. In fact, Jill Stein said, let's not tone it down, we have to tone it up. And she's right. I mean, this tone down thing is nonsense. I mean, this is why Hillary would be a horrible, horrible general election candidate. She has a negative 21% approval rating. People hate her. Very much like Trump, there's a small, passionate part of the Democratic Party that loves her, just like there's a small, passionate part of the Republican Party that loves Donald Trump. But independents hate them both. Many people in their parties hate them both, which is why their approval rating is so low. And she would be just a horrible candidate against Trump. Horrible, because she can't take any heat. Every little thing bothers her. If she can't debate Bernie, if she can't take Bernie being critical of her positions, how she can handle Trump? You think he's going to tone it down when she cries for him to tone it down? I mean, is this the presidential material? Oh, please, Vladimir, tone it down. Tone it down. I'm going to go tell the leaders of Iran and North Korea to tone it down. Wall Street, tone it down. Be nice, Wall Street, tone it down. Yeah, that's going to work. So this was just such a weak thing that she said. And then her campaign manager says that Bernie is campaigning in New York like a Brooklynite. Is there something wrong with being a Brooklynite? What does that mean, campaigning like a Brooklynite? I don't understand what that means. He said that Bernie's going to campaign like a Brooklynite while Hillary's going to campaign like a senator. Well, here's a news flash for you. Bernie is a senator. Hillary's retired. She's been retired for a few years now. She's not a senator anymore. Bernie's a senator. So if anyone's going to be campaigning like a senator, it's Bernie. But this idea of campaigning like a Brooklynite, I don't understand what that means. I could speculate. Does it mean Jew? Is he going to campaign like a Jew? I don't know. Once again, we can only speculate because it's a dumb statement that makes no sense. So unless they retract it or explain what campaign like a Brooklynite means, we'll just have to assume it's a stupid, dumb statement said by a scumbag in the Clinton campaign. And that's basically what it is. And he just offended 3 million people. Maybe they don't know the demographic. Maybe they don't realize that Brooklyn is basically the size of Chicago. Maybe they think they were offending 100,000 people. I don't know. Did they realize Brooklyn is almost twice the size of Manhattan, population-wise? 3 million people were just offended. Hopefully they'll remember that on April 19th. And, carrying Brooklyn would probably be enough to carry the whole state. So, anyway, there's that. Also, there's this idea that seems to be coming from Rachel Maddow, from what I understand. She annoys me, so I don't watch her much. But that Bernie can only win caucuses. He can't win primaries, so it's pretty much over. He can't win Wisconsin. He can't win New York. Can't win California. They're all primaries. What do you have to understand about these talking heads on television, no matter who they are, for the most part, except for Lawrence O'Donnell? He's the only one that knows his shit. He's the only one that's actually been in the game. Everyone else is just a talking head who I guess learned it in communications classes in college. Unless their producers bring them, I worked in talk radio for 10 years, unless the producers bring most of these people information, they don't know it. So I guess her producers didn't bring her the information that in 2008, just 8 years ago, Hillary won almost every primary. She won all the big states, all of them. And Obama won all the caucuses by large margins. Not even as large as Bernie, but almost as large as Bernie. And guess who the president is? It's not Hillary Clinton. It's Barack Obama. And also Bernie has, in fact, won primaries. Michigan was a primary. New Hampshire was a primary, won up by 22 points. So he can win primaries. It's not like he hasn't won primaries. He's just done incredibly well in caucuses. I mean, he's killed her. Maybe why isn't the narrative that Bernie has come close in a lot of primaries while Hillary has not come even close in the caucuses? She's gotten blown out. The anointed one has gotten totally destroyed in almost every caucus other than Iowa and Nevada, which she won by a little margin. So once again, history, it's only 8 years ago. It's not 80 years ago. But most people who watch mainstream media don't remember 8 years ago, or they weren't as into it. Most people weren't as into it 8 years ago as they are now. And Hillary won all the big states. She won all the rich, delicate states. And she won all the primaries, most of the primary states. But Obama won those caucuses, those small state caucuses, by a large margin. And he is president of the United States. So we should keep all those things in consideration. Look, I think what we're going to get now is a lot of this silly season nonsense coming out of the Clinton campaign. A lot of it. He yells at his wife. He's a Brooklynite. Tone it down. All this nonsense that has nothing to do with the issues. All stuff that you grasp at when your campaign is sinking, to try to change the narrative of your sinking campaign. The last thing Hillary Clinton wanted this whole week to be about, leading up to next Tuesday in Wisconsin, is Bernie winning by 50 points on average in Alaska, Washington, and Hawaii. She doesn't want that to be the narrative for the next week. That just gives him more momentum going into Wisconsin. So they want to change the momentum. So their campaign people bring up this stuff. One more thing. They made a big deal over Bernie paying Tad Devine, who's a great campaign strategist. Obviously, you saw over the weekend what a great strategist he is. Paying him big money to be their campaign strategist. They want to equate that with the money Hillary's taking from Wall Street, big banks, big pharma, Goldman Sachs, and the $350,000 a person Clooney thing. They want to equate the two things, as though Bernie doesn't have a right to have a campaign manager. You shouldn't pay him minimum wage. I don't know. But they want to equate the two things, these brain surgeons. If they want to, I'll equate the two things. Yes, Tad Devine is totally beholden to Bernie Sanders because Bernie pays him good money and he's his campaign advisor. Yes. Okay, good. Let's equate it then. Hillary's taking all this money from big banks, big pharma, Wall Street, Goldman Sachs, and those elite people at the Clooney rally. Who knows they were even Democrats. They were just rich people with money who want something in return. Most of them do. And so let's equate the two things. Fine. Yes, Tad Devine is totally beholden to Bernie Sanders as his campaign advisor, as Jeff Weaver is as his campaign manager. As Hillary Clinton is beholden to Wall Street, big banks, big pharma, and all those people in Goldman Sachs and all those people at the Clooney fundraiser and all these rich $100,000 fundraisers. She is as beholden to them as Tad Devine is to Bernie Sanders. Guilty as charged. Bernie 2016. Feel the burn. See you soon.